Hey everyone. President Trump has signed a memo, and this is, I believe, what's today, Wednesday? That he's threatening to cut federal funding to lawless cities, including Seattle, Portland, New York, and Washington. I have to tell you, these radical Democrat-ran states that are allowing the mob to create domestic terrorism is so disgusting that if Trump is able to do this, he has my vote on this topic. Trump always has my vote because he makes sense. So Cuomo and these other radical, troublemaking, domestic terrorist supporting, abiding governors, mayors, these radical cancer in America. It's cancer of our society. President Trump said, "My administration will not allow federal tax dollars to fund cities that allow themselves to deteriorate into lawless zones," said the memo, which was released by the White House. I mean, how else are we going to make these corrupted law officials, representatives, governors, mayors, whatever you want to call them, how are we going to make them accountable? So the memo instructs Attorney General Bill Barr to develop a list of anarchist jurisdictions that permitted violence and the destruction of property to persist and have refused to undertake reasonable measures to restore order. So it's not just about the lawless going on. It's about their blatant abuse of control by telling Trump, "We don't want your help. We don't want the military to come in and clear this up. We don't want you to give us aid to our businesses. We don't want you to help our police department. We don't want you to help our citizens who are being attacked, who are under attack." If you refuse to help the people you represent, get the hell out, resign. And if until that time comes, if you refuse to restore order, then there has to be some type of consequence for the time being. The memo also instructs White House Budget Director Russell Vought to issue guidance in 30 days to the heads of agencies on restricting eligibility of otherwise disfavoring, to the maximum extent permitted by law, anarchist jurisdictions in the receipt of federal grants. So you're not going to tear down your cities and then ask and expect aid so you can just pocket that money. Cuomo, however the hell you say your name. Because I can't stand you, and I can't stand whoever it is that works on CNN. Chris, you both are devils. And when you try to talk about people and saying, just omit God, don't talk about God, we don't need God, keep that crap to yourself. Because you're so far off. If you're a Satanist, go be a Satanist in your basement. I actually don't want to hear about it, but luckily I don't even watch CNN. You couldn't pay me to watch that shit show. So, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said on a Twitter rant, that's what I'm just going to call it, that Trump was trying to cut off funding that states and cities must receive to recover from the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, so now it's about the coronavirus pandemic. No, it's not. Don't twist it around. Don't lie like you Democrats do. It's always a lie. It's always deflection. It's always someone else's fault. And people are getting sick of this. I got to tell you, America is getting sick of you Democrats doing this every day, nonstop. I mean, you're driving America crazy. Not only are you attacking America, you waged a war on New York. Yeah, you. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. You're lucky they don't go after you. I'm just saying, I couldn't live with, I couldn't even be you for a minute. I couldn't even live with myself. So that's pretty much all he wants. He wants to destroy as much as possible. He wants to take down the value of real estate so all these Satanist, evil Democrats can buy up real estate, and when they get their funding, they're going to sell it, or they're going to possibly do the low-income housing and turn it into hell over there. And they're going to try, I don't know if they still abolished bail, so nobody's held accountable for rioting and being a domestic terrorist. They're just thrown out of jail. And he wants funding for creating hell in New York City. Mariah Carey didn't go rent a house away from there for no reason. The sooner, Andrew Cuomo, you are no longer governor, go get a job at CNN. Leave New York alone. So, Cuomo went on to say, he is not a king. Oh, he's your president, okay? And he's calling you out on your communist, mob, satanic, fraud. You're fraud. You've waged war on your own city. You're letting criminals not have to deal with bail. They can just come right out of jail and go back to rioting and looting. Cuomo is all ass backwards. He's sick. He's a sick individual. He's selfish, and he's a tyrant. You're a tyrant. And he just went on to say that President Trump cannot defund New York City, that it's an illegal stunt. If President Trump knows that you're a chump and you're a fraud and you're a thief and you have waged war on your own city, I bet you anything our president could do something about it. So watch your mouth. And heaven, really, I'm glad I'm not in New York City. It's bad enough I'm in Hollywood. That's bad. So, good job, President Trump. Hold these tyrants, these communists, these mob governors, mayors, these Democrats. Hold them responsible. Because, of course, they're eventually going to want funding, and we know what they do with that funding. It doesn't go to the people. And if it does, it's very little. It goes in their pockets. It goes to new homes. It goes to these fancy schmancy, whatever it is these devils buy. Trying to live high on the hog like our president. You're not Donald Trump, Cuomo. You're not. Okay? Stop frauding and stealing from the people and destroying your own city just because you have security and you're safe while everyone else is being burnt down and terrorized. Honestly, you're going straight to hell. You're going straight to hell. And I hope President Trump cracks down on you guys. Cracks down. Alright guys, I just wanted to point that out, that our president is amazing. And let me tell you guys, this guy, our president, is busy, on the go, nonstop. That's why I talked about the smoothies in my other video. But he misses no corners. This guy doesn't miss a thing. Alright? So, thank God we have our president, Trump 2020. And thank you, President Trump, for everything. And we appreciate you. Bye, guys. Good night. Take care of each other.